All right, Maurizio, you want to explain a little bit about what the logical objects are of InfoScale Access, I see. You ready to do that?
Sure. Well,
go ahead.
Fortunately, there are not so many logical objects, but they are really important, and we need to know how to manage, how to create them. The first step that we have to do is to discover the lens that we have to manage. The discovery is done automatically when you install InfoScale Access on existing servers, or every time that you add more systems. You can even start your discovery whenever you want, of course. The discovery will let you recognize all the LANs, physical LANs, logical LANs that are connected to the InfoScale Access nodes. It doesn't matter if they are SAN-based or an array, if they are directly attached to the servers, so in FSS configuration, or if they are disks that are in cloud. Well, they will be used, put together, and you have to create the first logical object, the storage pool. The storage pool is exactly at this group. So for people that knows already InfoScale Enterprise, this group is a container of disks. So you will put disks in a storage pool, and then you will be able to start to use the disks. Now, the first step, the next step that you have to do is to create a file system. Now, people that works with InfoScale Enterprise already know that before creating a file system, you should create a volume at least. And this is something that InfoScale Access does automatically. So you just create a file system. The wizard will create the volume for you. The layout will be chosen automatically by InfoScale Access to optimize the performances and the availability. In the most of the cases, you will have a striped mirror. And then, automatically, InfoScale Access will create a volume set. So it will create a volume set with a volume inside, and then the file system. Now, when we talk about the volume sets, we immediately connect it to multi-volume file systems. And multi-volume file systems are the basis for smart tiering, for storage tiering. And this is exactly what we have here. Basically, InfoScale Access is preparing your storage to have a possible storage tiering. So if you want later, manually, using the cliché, you can add one more file system and one more volume to the same volume set. And doing this, you will have two tiers. Now, the best way to use tiers in InfoScale Access is having the first tier on-premise using local disks or SAN disks, and the second tier on cloud. This is the best way to manage everything. Now that we have the file systems, it doesn't matter if they have two tiers or only one tier, you can create shares. Now, the shares can be created. You can create more shares in the same file system or just one share. And in some cases, you can even have multi-protocol shares. For example, you can create a CIFS share to connect Windows devices with Samba 2 or 3. You can create NFS shares, version 3 and version 4. But you can even create, for example, a single share with NFS 3 and S3 protocol to have the real multi-protocol access to a share. It doesn't matter how many shares you will create and associate with the file system. In that way, creating shares, the network infrastructures, the user in the network infrastructures will be able to connect to the main file systems and to access to the information stored in InfoScale Access.
Okay.
That is.
So really what I'm seeing here is for InfoScale Access, it can handle any kind of storage to come into this storage pool. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well,
so there's really all of these can come in.
Exactly. All of them can come in. In most of the cases, you will create many storage pools for your needs, and then you will manage different kinds of disks in the same InfoScale Access cluster.
Okay, great. Well, Maurizio, thank you so much for taking us through the logical objects.
It's a pleasure.